Some people obsess out of love. A narcissistic woman obsesses out of hunger. She doesn't chase because she's fascinated. She chases because she can't stand the silence inside her own mind. To understand why she locks onto certain people, you have to understand the world she never lets anyone see, the world behind her flawless confidence, her charm, her perfectly timed eye contact. Her confidence is a performance. Her self-esteem is a hostage. In psychology, they call it narcissistic supply: praise, attention, emotional reactions, admiration. For her, it's not optional. It's oxygen. Every compliment is a breath. Every reaction is proof she exists. Every bit of attention is a lifeline tied to the fragile version of herself she's terrified you'll ever see. And when someone enters her life who doesn't instantly feed that need, someone who doesn't bend, doesn't chase, doesn't get disoriented by her beauty or her chaos, something inside her cracks open. A strange, burning hunger begins to grow. Because suddenly, she's not just trying to feel admired. She's trying to feel real. A narcissistic woman lives between two extremes: the grand, untouchable version of herself she shows the world, and the fragile, frightened version she hides even from herself. The distance between those two selves is the void. And the void is always hungry. This is why her obsession isn't romantic. It isn't tenderness. It isn't connection. It's a survival mechanism. When validation goes quiet, she feels herself collapsing. Not emotionally, existentially. As if she stops existing when no one is watching. So she must latch onto someone. Not just anyone. Someone specific. Someone who triggers her emptiness. Someone who threatens the mask. Someone she cannot decode or dominate. Picture her alone at night. Her room dim. Her phone glowing. Scrolling through old messages from one particular person. He wasn't the most handsome. He wasn't the most successful. But he was the one who didn't fold. He didn't fight her. He didn't flatter her. He didn't get pulled into her emotional storms the way everyone else did. She replays their last moment. A calm sentence from him: "I don't need this energy in my life." Then he walked away. She hates that sentence. She fears it. But she can't stop thinking about it. Because in that moment, he became the only mirror she couldn't control. A narcissistic woman doesn't obsess over who loves her. She obsesses over who she cannot control. And that leads to the next question: who is this person she can't control? What makes someone immune to her charm, her chaos, her emotional gravity? She can manipulate almost anyone. Except him. And that's the beginning of her obsession. Most people react to her instantly. They blush when she compliments them. They defend themselves when she criticizes them. They panic when she goes silent. They chase when she pulls away. But he doesn't. He listens. He observes. He breathes. She tries her usual techniques: a sharp tone here, a mysterious smile there, a calculated pause after a compliment. Nothing works. He stays steady in a way she's never seen before. To her, that calmness is infuriating. To him, it's just emotional maturity. Psychologists call it emotional regulation, the ability to stay centered even when someone else tries to pull you into their storm. To a narcissistic woman, that centeredness feels like a locked door. No matter how hard she pushes, it doesn't open. And this is where her mind spirals. Because she's used to people reacting. She's used to power. She's used to being the emotional sun that everyone orbits. But his a different kind of gravity. His not cold. His not distant. His simply grounded. Rooted in himself. Not dependent on the emotional weather she creates. Imagine a scene: she throws a subtle jab, something meant to cut. He doesn't flinch. He just looks at her with a calm expression that almost feels like he sees through her. And then, he changes the subject. That moment alone is enough to keep her awake for nights. Not because he hurt her, but because he didn't let her move him. His silence is louder than any argument she's ever had. His calmness feels like resistance. His boundaries feel like mystery. She starts asking herself questions she's never asked before. Why didn't he react? What is he hiding? What does he think of me? Why can't I get to him? She hates the uncertainty. She needs him to respond so she can feel real again, powerful again. But he doesn't give her anything. Not anger. Not fear. Not validation. Just space. And space is the one thing she cannot control. The truth is simple, but devastating to her ego. She can't own someone who doesn't need her. She can't manipulate someone who refuses the game. She can't destabilize someone who is internally stable. The one person she obsesses over is always the one who stands in the center of her chaos, untouched. The next question is what happens when she finally makes her move, when she tries to test him, charm him, provoke him, and he responds in the one way she never expects. With kindness and unbreakable boundaries. She thought she finally found the crack. A moment of closeness. A small window where she believed she could pull him in. But then something happened she never expected. He was kind, yet absolutely unmovable. It's the combination that disarms her: empathy without submission, warmth without worship, interest without neediness. Most people who are kind also bend. Most people who care also overgive. Most people who feel deeply also tolerate too much. But not him. He listens carefully. He speaks gently. But when she crosses a line, even softly, he holds the boundary like a quiet wall. And that wall drives her insane. At first, she misreads his kindness. She thinks it's weakness. She thinks a soft voice means a soft spine. She believes she can push, pull, and twist him the way she does with everyone else. So she tests him. A backhanded compliment. A small insult disguised as a joke. A sudden withdrawal of attention. A flirtation meant to provoke jealousy. He doesn't break. He doesn't chase. He simply notices and steps back. Not dramatically. Not angrily. Just calmly, the way someone steps back from a fire that suddenly flares too close. It's that calm retreat that ruins her. Because she can't scream he's controlling me. She can't claim he's abusing me. She can't spin a story. He's simply protecting his peace. And that subtle strength, that ability to walk away without theatrics, triggers a deeper fear inside her. What if he sees me more clearly than I see myself? It's not his boundaries that haunt her. It's the reason behind them. He sees the patterns she tries to hide. The manipulation. The push-pull. The contradictions in her words and actions. And instead of getting trapped, he simply refuses the invitation. This is where her obsession deepens. Because the more he resists being controlled, the more she feels the urge to pull him closer, just to prove she still can. But she can't. Not with him. He is the paradox she can't resolve, gentle, but immovable. Empathetic, but independent. Open-hearted, but self-contained. The kind of person who cares, but still says no. The person she obsesses over is never the easiest to get. It's the one she can't control, can't predict, and can't bend. And the next layer of her fixation appears when she realizes something even more disturbing. He doesn't worship her. He reflects her. And a narcissistic woman can't stand the mirror she can't break. For the first time in a long time, she feels something she can't explain. Not attraction. Not love. Not even desire. Exposure. Because he doesn't just respond differently, he sees differently. Most people see her performance. He sees the pattern. Most people get hypnotized by the charm. He notices the shift behind her eyes. Most people hear her words. He hears the motives buried underneath. And she hates how transparent he makes her feel. She tries to hide behind confidence. He sees the insecurity. She tries to play the victim. He sees the manipulation. She tries to provoke jealousy. He sees the emptiness beneath it. It's the psychological mirroring that destroys her. Not worship. Reflection. Because for the first time, she's not dealing with a man who's blinded by desire or intimidated by intensity. She's dealing with someone who is willing to say the one thing no one else has ever dared to tell her. I know what you're doing. And he says it calmly. Without anger. Without moral judgment. Without trying to fix her. Just truth. Imagine the moment she tries to create drama, one of those emotional spikes designed to test loyalty, to gauge control, to measure how much power she still has. She raises her voice. She throws out accusations. She tries to drag him into the emotional maze. He looks at her, pauses, and says, "You say you hate chaos, but you create it every time you feel ignored." Then he steps back. And that one sentence hits her harder than any insult ever could. Because it doesn't attack her. It exposes her. It turns the spotlight inward, where she never wants it to be. This is the moment narcissistic obsession becomes psychological fixation. Not because she loves him, she doesn't know how. Not because she wants him, she wants control. But because he reflects a version of herself she can't stand, but can't look away from. He is the mirror she can't break, the one person who doesn't distort her reflection to protect her ego. He just shows it back to her. And what she sees terrifies her. The next chapter takes her fear to its breaking point. What happens when he finally does the one thing her ego cannot survive? He walks away. She always believed she had endless time. Endless chances. Endless power to pull him back whenever she wanted. But the moment she realizes he's truly gone, not temporarily, not emotionally distant, but gone, something inside her fractures. Most people leave with noise. He leaves with silence. No dramatic speech. No harsh words. No revenge. Just a quiet decision that his peace matters more than the chaos she brings. And that silence is what haunts her. A narcissistic woman becomes most obsessed after you walk away. Because she can't rewrite the story if you're no longer in it. She can't manipulate the ending if you refuse to play. She can't win a game when the other player puts the pieces down and walks out of the room. So she spirals. She replays every conversation. Every moment he stayed calm. Every moment he refused her bait. Every moment he didn't give her what she wanted, but gave her exactly what she needed. A boundary she couldn't break. Now he's gone, and she's stuck in the one place she never wanted to be, alone with herself. Psychologists call this object constancy, the ability to hold on to emotional connection even when someone isn't physically present. She doesn't have it. So absence feels like annihilation. Like he doesn't just dislike her. Like he erased her. And that's the real wound. Not the loss of him. The loss of control. That's why she stalks his social media late at night. Why she checks who he follows. Why she tries to provoke a reaction through mutual friends. Why she suddenly posts photos she hopes he'll see. Why she crafts messages she'll never send. It's not love. It's not regret. It's not longing. It's unfinished power. She can't stop obsessing because she never got to rewrite the ending in her favor. She never got the apology, the breakdown, the return, the surrender. Instead, he just chose himself. And that is the one outcome her ego cannot process. The truth she's forced to face, the one she'll never admit out loud, is this. The person she obsesses over is the person who proves she never had the power she thought she did. And for a narcissistic woman, that truth cuts deeper than any heartbreak. But for you, the viewer, that truth becomes something else entirely, a reminder that the greatest shield against manipulation is not anger, not revenge, not counter-control. It's a calm man with boundaries, who knows when to walk away.